My first experience with the Academy was a one-day workshop, and I made such a profound shift in that one day that I knew I would work with her. Working with Emily this week has been profound and amazing, and the way she presents it, if you listen, you get it.
What the heck? I know, hang on, I don't think my mic is working. Is my mic working, y'all? Where's my Yeti mic? All right, and I was gonna open by saying, that's right, Nancy, you do get it. But what does it? All right, we're starting with some challenges already. Who can hear me, by the way? Let me know if you can hear me in the comments, those of you who are here. Oh, this is why, duh. Okay, hang on. I was gonna wear my t-shirt that says like Consummate Pro. Let's see. Doggone it. All right, I'm gonna screw it, y'all. Who's here? Glenn, what's up? You hear me loud and clear? You know what? Jimmy Church, though, told me I needed to rock with a good mic. There. Okay. Hang on. We almost back in business with a good mic. Almost. What's up? Say hi once you get here, guys, while I fumble around with my set. Doggone it. Okay, let's do one more time. Come on, Yeti Pro. What the heck, dude? It's plugged in. It's on. All right, we're going to just start without it working properly. If it doesn't work, because y'all can still hear me on my other mic. Doggone it. All right. Get the Yeti out of the way. It's not actually working. Take two. Welcome to Akashic Answers with Emily. Those of you who are here to train. What's up? Sunny Moon in the house. Let me just take a second to say hi to you guys. Chuckles, you can hear me loud and clear. Yay, Glenn, it's good to see you. What's up, guys? I'm excited to be here with you this Wednesday. For those of you who are watching live or on the replay, I know that this is going to serve many of you because, like me, like attracts like. So you're here in my field because you are a visionary, a thought leader, a difference maker here on the planet. You got big dreams, you got big visions, and we're at a time on the planet where there's a lot of shift. New timelines are opening. It's time for us to step into our potential. It's an exciting time to be here. Y'all, I know that it can look different on the outside. I am so thrilled, though. Life is good right now, and I'm happy to share some of this excitement with you as we activate together to hold the frequency of our vision, because the vision of how we see ourselves, okay, the highest potential version of you, where you are serving the planet in your genius, you are happy, you have deep connection in your life, you have meaning and purpose, you have inspiration, right? This is the life that we are designed to live. And I promise you, if you unplug from what is happening out there in the matrix, the projected reality, and you remember your mission and your God-given right, by the way, we're standing in our own way. It's so easy to create, y'all. We got to remember how to do this. And that's what we're going to do here together. And there's a big invitation right now to shift the future of humanity and experience something that is way more in alignment with our divine potential blueprints, which is to live in a community, a society of peace, love, joy, abundance. Okay, can I get an amen if you feel it, if you can see it? Here's what happens, though. When we start getting clear about our vision and we start to open up these new timelines, our fear comes up. This is natural. Okay, so I want to talk to you all about fear today. We're also going to activate DNA. Your DNA is going to get activated hanging out here today. So thank you for following your intuition, your higher self into this space. If this is the first time we're meeting, I'm Emily Harrison. I'm the founder director here inside the Akashic Academy. And the Akashic Academy is your training ground for people who know they're meant for more. We're going to be working inside the frequency of the Akashic Records today. If you are new to the Akashic Records, this is the realm of consciousness that holds all information, past, present, all possible futures, and is recorded from a neutral perspective. Neutral means unconditional love and zero judgment. Every single one of us have an Akashic record. that holds an account of our soul's journey forward and backward through time. We all also are wired to tap into this, okay? Some humans who learned how to do this, besides yours truly. How many of you guys know how to do this out there, by the way? Ooh, I just got chills from my body. Let me know in the comments if you know how to access your Akashic Records, if you've been trained to do this. A couple of, I'll do a little name drop in here. Did you know that, my whole head is tingling too, by the way. Albert Einstein, Nikola Tesla, Steve Jobs, all knew how to tap into this field of infinite intelligence and download information. And it becomes a game changer once we start to do that. All right. I learned how to do this in this lifetime, I'll say, in 2015. And once I did, everything in my life started making sense. If you don't know my backstory, I grew up small town Missouri. I pulled the plug on life in Missouri when I was 19. I quit college. I went to Hollywood. I was in Hollywood for 20 years. And while my star was rising in Hollywood as an actress, truthfully, it wasn't meeting my expectations of life. And I had challenges, like human challenges of parenthood and relationship, that I didn't have the tools yet to know how to manage. And I was depressed, and metaphysics, meditation really started to help me center myself, helped me to slow down and tap into an innate wisdom within my own being. We all have one. And then when the Akashic Records illuminated and I started reading my own records, not only did I understand why my soul chose all of these challenges. Okay, so I want to encourage you, all the challenges that you're experiencing, your soul chose them so you can learn and grow. Your Akashic Records will give you the illuminated lesson so you don't have to keep guessing. What happens when we keep guessing? Which, by the way, keep on guessing. You'll eventually get it. Your soul will eventually get it. You've got an eternity. And these karmic loops, these karmic cycles that we're in of lack and lack of abundance, lack of health, lack of opportunity. I mean, it really all comes down to lack or love, right? So all of the areas where our soul is choosing to learn these lessons, we can tap into our soul records and get super clear about it. So you don't have to keep cycling through that. You can if you want to. Right now in this lifetime, you don't have to. Our planet, our whole universe right now is actually evolving. We are at a place, a point in our galaxy where we're being bombarded with photons of light. This is also illuminating our DNA, waking us up, and it's opening an opportunity for souls to evolve in all four of our bodies: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual bodies. What does that mean? It means that we get to, if we want to, reach our highest potential in this lifetime. Give me an amen. All right. So I want you to start firing up my chat box with questions. Like I said, this is super conscious intelligence. This is like asking a crystal ball, the crystal ball of the universe, the God mind. Any questions that you want. All right. I want you to start lighting up my chat box. You'll notice that Miss Bridget Smith Garcia already submitted a question. We've been doing that. So submit your questions early. Pay attention to the videos that I'm putting out, because those are where you find the little Easter eggs where you can submit early. So Bridget, I'm definitely going to answer your question today, whether or not you are on the path. For those of you who are new to asking questions, here are some examples. Not but how can I use my gifts to create a fulfilling, impactful career? What steps can I take to align more deeply with my purpose? How can I overcome fear and doubt? All right. So I want you to light up my chat box with questions, because that will be part 2 of our time here together today. I will channel for all of us based on your questions from the Akashic Records. And we'll also bring in transmission and healing. I also want to talk about activating the DNA. The Akashic Records have some downloads they want me to share with y'all. I got my notes right here. So while you are lighting up my chat box with your questions, I'm going to dive into some notes for you, okay? What the Akashic Records wants you to know. All right, so let's talk about how your DNA responds to vision. First of all, let me give you a high-level overview of what the activation of the DNA is all about, according to what my Akashic Records have shared with me, okay? And interestingly enough, it's connected to from my perspective, the second coming of Christ, which is, I learned about it a little bit differently growing up. I grew up super Southern Baptist. My mama was a Sunday school teacher. So I learned through that lineage what the second coming of Christ meant. And as I've gone on, I got chills in my whole body, gone on my own quest and journey in the Akashic Records, and I have a direct channel, I just ask, what the heck is that about? And what I got back was, what came into my mind was the awareness of the 12 strands of DNA and how scientists talk about 2 strands of the human genome of our DNA is active, and the rest of those 10 strands of DNA are junk DNA. The Akashic Records say, nuh-uh, these other strands of DNA, we could look at them like subdimensional strands of DNA. They lie dormant, and when they get activated, we turn on our dormant potential. Okay, and the second coming of Christ, Christ was a being, not the only one, by the way, who had all 12 strands of his DNA activated, which is why he knew how to use the cosmic laws to defy the physical laws of this universe, which is pretty freaking cool. We all have that ability within us. Okay, and as we activate our DNA, those skills return to us. So the second coming of Christ will look like when we all live in a society where we remember who we are and our DNA is activated. Bob Wilson, I see your question. Thank you. I'm going to answer that. Let's talk about specifically how the DNA shifts and changes according to your vision. Okay, here's what the records want you to know is that DNA organizes around the images you constantly hold. And as you do that, that vision that you're constantly holding, that frequency, that activates your dormant potential within the DNA. Okay, that's what it means for your DNA to reorganize around the visual signals that you're constantly holding. Okay? Isn't that cool that your vision, if you hold the vision, it will activate your dormant potential, your latent potential? However, inconsistency with holding your vision will keep all of your DNA dormant. Okay? Your body will not respond to what you want. You can't just throw a projection out there of what you want. Your body will respond to what you rehearse. Okay? Hola, Big Red. And Regina, I see you too. Thank you for being here. Your body does not respond to what you want. It responds to what you rehearse. Now, you can rehearse things that you want. All right, you can rehearse it in your body as if it were already real. That's what makes us so good at manifesting, and it's powerful. We're going to do some of that here together today. Once you hold a clear vision, you got to hold it for 17 seconds, science tells us. But once you hold a clear vision for 17 seconds, you allow for pattern reprogramming. All right, I think it's really important that we ask ourselves, am I holding the vision long enough for the reprogramming to happen? Right? All right, so let's practice right now. Shelly, Raw Elements made it just in time to hold the vision, the frequency, to allow for the repatterning. We're going to hold it for 17 seconds. So I want you to think about something that you want. Okay? And we are going to entrain our bodies to hold that frequency of our desires. I won't go into all of the technology right now, but as we begin to understand our human technology even more, we understand how our third eye is a projection mechanism connected into the dodecahedron, shoots these electron-like particles in these wave formations into the sacred geometry, planet of sacred geometry that holds the field of the earth. And once you learn this and you start to use it consciously, like we are now, you are going to start seeing a lot faster results of manifestation in your life. when you co-create like this, okay? Plus, all of us doing it here together. Ooh, and my third eye start flipping. Y'all, the more of us doing it now, the more of us doing it on the replay, doesn't matter. The more that we do this, the more we take back our power. The more we remember we don't have to live in fear. We're going to talk about fear next, okay? Do me a favor, before we do this holding of our vision, consecrating our vision together, just hit that love, like, heart button, whatever you want, like an elevator button. Just send crazy algorithms through the field for me. All right, because the more of us that come here together and do this and that. And once we play nice with the algorithms, they push this content out, which is good. So you're helping me. Thank you. You can also light up the chat box. Just send like rando emojis if you want. It's awesome. All right, my third eye's flipping. We're ready to go. I'm going to invite you to adjust your posture for this. Sit up nice and straight. Feel all four corners of your feet on the floor. Tuck your tailbone and chin under. This elongates your spine, allows you to draw power up from your central channel, your central tube of light. Deep breath in. And Don, you're asking about how to connect with the Akashic Records. We're starting to do it right now, my friend. Ooh, I can feel the field shifting. I can feel my voice echoing within my mind differently. So here's how I have people connect to the records. Crystalline tube of light runs up and down your spine. Here are the basics. This is a plasma technology. It responds to your intention. You anchor it into the core of Mother Earth. Feel that? Ain't no thing. Just do it quickly. Don't overthink it. Ooh, so much energy. And then send it out of the top of your head all the way up through the layers of space and time, exiting the universe, exiting the multiverse, anchoring into the Akash, the all that is. Get the ether. And then what we do is we open up this flow of energy. All right, so what we want to do, first of all, just give yourself a dump. Anything that you're hanging on to right now, just give your body the directive, the command to release it in the crystalline tube of Earth into Mother Earth. She's a master. She knows what to do with it, how to recycle it, how to turn it, alchemize it for good. Just let her do her thing right now. Get yourself clear. Okay. Now we want to call up the intelligence from Mother Earth. And let me just remind you what intelligence that we're working with here, okay? Goddess Sophia, so fully embodied in her Christed consciousness energy, her outside of this time-space continuum, outside of the physical, in the energies with God, okay? In that space of unity consciousness, shall we say. The essence of Goddess Sophia, the divine feminine energy, so fully embodied in the Christed consciousness energy. So see how we're balancing the masculine and feminine there. That she incarnated as a physical planet here to host that experiment for us to know ourselves in the likeness and image of God through nature, through natural cycles, through paradigms of light and dark, okay, of duality. We've got to learn how to master duality as we come here. We learn from nature. We have the opportunity to be in perfect balance in our highest potential, as well as learn through stages of evolution and growth and our shadow. We learn through our shadow here as well. Okay, so you feel the fullness, the wisdom in that Mother Earth energy and her potential. We want to spiral that up the crystalline tube of light, spiral it all the way up, spiral it through your body, spiral it all the way up the crystalline tube, anchoring it into the Akash. Okay? Maybe some of you are feeling that illuminate in your field. Now I want to focus on the Akashic intelligence. That's light intelligence. Okay? Possibility, frequency. We're going to spiral this down the crystalline tube of light. Some of you who are good at visualizing might be seeing this double helix of DNA as it intertwines. Okay, this activates your galactic DNA. Let that intelligence spiral all the way down, you anchoring into Mother Earth. So you're held in this space between heaven and earth. Breathing now. Allowing your being to conduct the frequencies that will assist you in naturally animating the frequencies of heaven on earth. It's a direct transmission coming through for you now. There, right? Drop the consciousness from the mind into the heart. Your monkey mind might get in the way and bring up some resistance. So just drop your consciousness down here. Activate your heart mind. We're going to move back up into the mind and work with the third eye in just a second. Let's just let our consciousness center itself in our hearts, pervading from our heart. Good. Now I want you to, from your heart mind, call up a vision of what you want, what you desire to experience. Okay. I'm holding in my frequency. I'll just let y'all in on mine. So then, you can track my progress. Hold space for me too. I'm so excited. I want to be on Joe Rogan's podcast. I want to be in there laughing, cracking each other up, talking about aliens and the Akashic Records and how cool this is and how powerful it is and the mysteries that we get to uncover. Okay, I can feel myself. I want you guys to get into your own vision, but feel into it. Okay, paint as many of the visceral, tangible experiences that you can. So see it. I'm seeing myself inside this podcast studio with the headphones on. My mic, hell, what do you know? My mic's actually working in this vision. Okay, I don't know if the walls are teak or not. I feel like I can smell the teak. So bring in a scent if you can. Activate your clair smelly. That's a good one. But feel yourself calm, relaxed, and also excited and creative, expansive, confident. Embodying the best version of yourself. Cool. So I forgot to start timing us, so we'll just start now. And we'll make sure that we really get it in. So as much of that energy as you can hold, relax your body. Let's activate. Actually, let's now activate the third eye. So lick your finger, touch your third eye, holding that vision. The licking and touching your third eye will bring all of your awareness naturally to your third eye. Okay, now sending that energy right out the third eye, connecting into the dodecahedron. This is sacred geometry that surrounds the planet. And just hold the vision. Breathe. Feel the good vibes. Hold that frequency and train your body and train your nervous system. I can feel the shift. We just clicked in, by the way. Let's give it just holding it just a little bit more. Woo! Does anybody else feel that click in? Like, oh, it's like we're over the top of it now. Okay, let's calm down. Breathe, come back into your bodies. Good stuff. I loved that. All right. That is an example of how you can direct your energy in a different way. Did anybody feel fear come up during that? I did not. If you did, that's okay. Keep practicing. Here's what I hope you noticed, and share with me in the comments, that when we're engaging in that way, we're activating our power of the now moment, and the fear isn't present when we're consciously directing our energy. Anybody else notice that? So when the fear is present, basically what that's telling us is we're not consciously directing our energy right now. Here's what the Akashic Records also want you to know about why fear shows up specifically during expansion. And I feel it too. Let me shake my head. Yes, I was going to say, I feel it too. But that's like a subconscious. No, I feel it too. Let me be very human with you. I feel it too. Okay. What the body is actually registering is the identity change, not danger. Although we can really easily fill in the gaps and create stories that we're in danger. Yep. All right. We don't want to fill in the gap and create danger. We want to give ourselves something different to do. All right. However, here's another important thing to recognize about how all humans work. All of us work this way, by the way. We are magnificent beings, and we're susceptible to distortion in the field. We're very, very sensitive creatures. We get our feelings hurt so easily. Another thing that happens is that we have these big dreams, these big visions, right? We step into the new timeline and our nervous system instantly reacts, especially our nervous systems who have been through our ancestral trauma and our modern day trauma to get to this point where we're all here right now watching the show. High five if you made it. But our nervous systems have been through the freaking ringer. So and we're super resilient, right? So we keep dreaming, we keep dreaming, we keep dreaming. And we step into these new dreams and timelines, and our nervous systems that have taken a hit are like, WTF. And it registers as fear. Okay. Does it feel good to know that we're all facing the same distortion? Let's break it down so it's not so challenging. All right. Here's another thing the Akashic Records have shared with me about our fear is that fear and potential are actually the exact same energy exercised in opposite directions. So when you step back into the now and you become a conscious creator and you hold the vision like we did, you can even activate the crystalline tube of light if you want to be extra. And I recommend that you do, because did y'all get a charge from that? And do you like symbolically see, I mean, humans and we really attach meaning on the level of symbolism. That energy, light energy, moving in spirals of your perfect embodiment, moving up through you, rising up through you, and your divine intelligence weaving down to illuminate your next steps in heaven on earth through your being. Like, freaking yeah, give me more of that. All right. Keep lighting up my chat box with questions. We're about to get to your questions. And Sir Bob Wilson, I already answered yours. We're basically in the Akashic Records right now. Now, when I teach people to access the Akashic Records more formally in the training, I also add oming. It's a vibrational frequency that will prepare your body to receive transmission. Okay, so there's a little bit more nuance. If those of y'all who had studied, like, we didn't open the records, we did not ohm our way in. No, we didn't ohm our way in today. And you can also get into the records just by being a vibrational frequency match to unconditional love and zero judgment. You can dream your way into the Akashic Records. You can stumble in having an aha moment. Okay. Okay. All right. So the last thing that I want to share with you is how to stay anchored in your highest potential timeline. Okay. Anchoring is not about eliminating fear. It's about not letting fear collapse your vision. So let's normalize the fear, normalize the fear. It's going to come up. Your job is to not let it get in your way. Let me know if this is landing for y'all, if we're making it simpler. Share with me in the comments specifically what's landing, all right? Another way that we anchor in our highest potential timeline, return to it. Stabilizing the frequency, returning to your vision will help normalize it in your body. We become what we repeatedly do. Repetition is the mother of skill, okay? Confidence comes in the doing, the reps, repetition, so important. And then asking yourself, am I staying with it long enough for it to lock in? So this reprogramming, once we get to the 17-second mark, we start the reprogramming. Ask yourself if you're staying with it long enough to experience the reprogram of what you want, okay? Some super tangible tools y'all can practice with. That is right, Miss Regina. All right, so I'm going to dive into answering some questions now. Please, if you have questions for your Akashic Records, you want to experience what your Akashic Records are like, thank you so much for the vulnerability to ask questions, then the courage to share what's happening in your field. We all get to learn from it. And y'all make this show. You make it extra fun for me. All right? Because I already knew that other stuff I was going to say. I have no idea what's about to come out of my mouth now. Let's find out. All right. Let me go to Bridget's question. I had it right up here. Okay. Bridget Smith Garcia, I just want to know if I am on my path fully. I feel like a piece is missing. All right, anybody else feel that? You feel like you are on your path fully, but there's still something that's a little bit off. All right, let me drop in, Bridget. I'm going to tap into your field. Okay. What the guides are saying is the only thing that feels a little bit off is like the old version of you is still catching up to the new version of you. And like we talked about how fear presents for a lot of people when they're stepping into the new version of themselves, because their nervous system isn't used to experiencing it. However, you are actually truly fearless. That's what the guides are sharing with me now. You've been through so much in life, not only this lifetime, but previous incarnations. And you have trained for so long for this that you're literally a fearless human. And let me know if that resonates with you. There's like this effervescence expanding in what I would say was that middle Dantian. Yeah, no, that's lower Dantian. Am I lower Dantian right now? I'm not exactly sure what that's in alignment with, but definitely a good thing. Lower Dantian, and this is coming through for everybody, by the way, we're expanding in that amount of resource we can hold. Our self-worth is really filling up right now. Okay. The guides are saying, for anybody who's resonating and you're feeling this, you're feeling it in your guts right now. This is for you. You're getting an activation right now. And the guides are inviting you to try on this question, Bridget. This is definitely for you. What if I am who I think I am? Again, everybody just try that on right now. Just feel into that. What if I just ask the question, what if I am who I think I am? And we're receiving activations, light codes, downloads right now. Just be open. Just be open. What if I am who I think I am? And then practice opening. And some of you might be feeling tension places. That's good. Breathe through it. We're opening to receive more, to activate more of our intelligence, our skills, our gifts, our resource, our courage, our alliances, our clarity, calling it in. Middle Dantian, upper Dantian also activating now, just to see the gold bowls. Guys, you got a big gold bowl in your belly. You got a gold bowl in your heart. You got a gold bowl up here in the head. Okay. Overflowing with energy. Beautiful. Good job. All right. Thank you, Miss Garcia. Miss Smith Garcia. Miss Bridge. All right. Let's see. We talked about Bob Wilson's question here, how to access the Akashic Records. Let's see. Let me pause right now and because I don't see any more comments. So here's the deal. When you come on live and you join me here, I think that you gotta give StreamYard some go ahead to post your comments. So if anybody knows specifically about that, or any of you commenters know what you had to do to get to be commenters, share it with the rest of our audience and think of a question to ask me. All right. I want you to ask me another question. So in the meantime, I want to share with y'all something very cool that's coming up. One of the areas of creation, of excitement, of expansion, of ritual for me is bringing together those of you who have trained in the Akashic Records. And if you haven't trained in the Akashic Records, part of the Mount Shasta program that I'm about to tell you about includes the Akashic Record training, because in order to be there over Lionsgate and to receive the downloads that come in, you've got to have initiated into your own purpose here on the planet. All right. You have to have cleared a significant amount of your karma, your trauma, and mine still come up, y'all. Just here's the deal. When it comes up, I now have tools to work with it. You do not want to go on a specialized group for expanded light codes and expanded energy if you've still got your own, like a lot of shit that you're dealing with, because that expands on the mountain. So we make sure that we take care of that before we get on the mountain. Then over Lionsgate every year, which is a strategical alignment with the star system Sirius, Okay, we're getting light codes from Great Central Sun, talk about the activation of the DNA. It is the most potent on the planet over Lionsgate on August 8th at Mount Shasta. Mount Shasta, in addition to being the root chakra of the planet, it's also a galactic gateway. So the light codes that are coming in the planet come into Mount Shasta first. That's where they're received into the planet from the root, and then they disperse. Okay? So if you know how to harness the energies of the planet, which I do because I asked the Akashic Records, it's kind of crazy stuff because it's very interesting to me. Don't y'all want to know this kind of stuff? It's so cool. And you can ask those kind of questions too, by the way. One of the first questions I asked when I learned to read the records was about the pyramids, anti-gravity sound technology, very cool stuff. They were machines that held a frequency of consciousness here on the planet. Super cool. All right, so back to, totally lost my train of thought. Pyramids, go back. Yes, I asked the Akashic Records how to utilize the planetary vortexes. So the root chakra of the planet, our root, our base, this is where we anchor, we root in. Everything aligns from this point. The root of our bodies exists at the base of our spine. It's red in color. It's responsible for your sense of safety and security here on the planet, emotional, physically, financially. We're actually receiving a root chakra activation right now as we're talking about this. You can say, I am safe to receive this in all areas of your life. It will balance you and open you, make you more receptive to bringing in abundance and pleasure in your life, feeling safe, having access to money and resource. You're going to feel safe being in a state of connection and allowing yourself to love and to be in love with yourself and others in life, y'all. When we in love, we emit these happy chemicals that just make everything so good. And we don't want to kick each other's ass either. It's awesome. It's like natural vaccination against the bullshit, the Maya, the illusion, the fear. Open yourself up. Please quest into feeling safe, being who you are in an abundance and an allowance of what you are here to not only receive, but to animate. Yes. Oh, the activations are strong today, y'all. Thanks for being here. Okay. So when you go into Mount Shasta like that, we're going to spend a week in the serious woo-woo vortexes doing initiation work like this that help us hold the frequency of miracle consciousness. So I want to show you what it actually looks like. Okay. Check this out. No filters on this whatsoever. Light codes. What are you doing now? All right. There is a link in the description. I want to invite all of you. If you've had fun here today, if you've enjoyed this, please check out the links in the descriptions. We've got so many things there for you. If you want to know more about this Mount Shasta excursion, there is an application process. And our link was broken for a while. A bunch of y'all applied and didn't hear back from me. Probably thought you were rejected. Well, honestly, 2 of you got accepted, not all of you. Some of you did get rejected. Although if you applied and you did not hear from me, we did discover a kink in the hose. So that is fixed. I definitely encourage you to apply. And if you have not yet trained in your Akashic Records, we will train you. If you are accepted into that expedition, we will train you in your Akashic Records so that you can clear your karma, trauma, things that you're holding on to that are draining your energy. We fix you, we help you get fixed right up. And then also tap into your unique creativity. So each one of us humans have spectacular genius. And understanding what yours is and how to activate it definitely happens when you learn to read your records. All right, let me grab my glasses that I threw off my lap earlier when I got all excited. And let's go back and get some questions here. So Shelly Raw Element says, so hard for me to articulate in words I'm feeling. What's the best way to learn to communicate better? All right, great question. Let me dive in and see what the guides have to say. They say the best way for us to learn to communicate together right now is we got to slow down, and not just slow down when we're communicating, but slow down, like take breaks during the day where you sit, slow down and breathe and check in with ourselves. Because the vast majority of bad communication is reactionary communication. It's a wounded part of us that we haven't healed that needs to be heard. And let me tell you something. When we're in a conflict or communication, that ain't the time. Although we can get valuable data if our shit comes up in those moments. However, the best thing to do is to slow down before that moment. Now, the slowing down works in the communication as well. But here's the key is that we've got to slow down so we know how we really feel. Most of us, our emotional bodies are scrambled. And the guides are saying right now that there are, I talked about how the human genome gets distorted. We're subject to distortion. There's a game of light and dark, shadow, whether it's the good guys and the bad guys, good versus evil, how you see that projected through the reptilians or the Kabul and the Illuminati and then the white hats on this planet on these bigger scales. Or if you just see it, like hopefully, I invite you to see it all as a projection of our own shadow. Because once you look inside and you say, what does that shadow mean for me inside me? That's where we start taking back our power. Because once we deal with whatever's inside of ourselves, it's no longer going to project in the outside world. Okay, but one of I'll say the areas where we get fucked up here on the planet is our emotional bodies are not very mature. Because we've been distracted. Like the average attention span is, I don't know, like less than a goldfish. Oh, which reminds me, I made y'all some micro content. Yeah. Because our attention span is less than a goldfish now, right? Let me just make myself a note. I'll tell you more about this. Well, I'll go back to the micro content. All right. But because our attention span is less than a goldfish right now, it feels so challenging for us to slow down, to reflect, to be with our feelings. And a result of that in our emotional bodies is that we're jacked up. Furthermore, our nervous systems are jacked up. So what happens in those moments of when can take responsibility for the challenging communication, what's really happening is that it's an immature emotional body that's speaking through us. That's why we've got to slow down prior, learn to sit with ourselves, learn to hold our nervous systems, or let our, I don't know what I'm saying about hold our nervous system, but hold yourself, hold your inner child, grab your balls, whatever it is. I am safe. And we got to learn to feel our feelings. We can't not feel our feelings. We got to feel them. All right, but that's the challenge right now, is that our emotional bodies are jacked. We don't know what we really want. So most of our communication is about speaking what we don't want. Okay, let me know if this is making sense. It's landing, it's hitting home for you guys. Okay, the guides do want to talk about some other ways, especially during conflict, to have really good communication. Okay. First of all, we got to register the triggers in our own body when we're getting amped up and refuse to show up to that shit because you're the only person paying the price for it. And then you got to take a breath and remember, all right, what is the goal here? So when we're communicating, what is the goal? When am I going to know that I feel good at the end of this communication? When I feel heard, when I understand what to do next. Then having the other person as well be responsible for themselves. All right, how do I know when this is good for me? When you're in the conflict, when does this get back to good? What do I need for this to get back to good? Okay, and then once you discover what you need to get back to good, take those steps. And it's going to feel really clunky in the beginning. Although this is a big invitation for humans right now in order to take responsibility for how we're feeling. And a lot of us are afraid to slow down and look inward. Actually, I'm going to put an email out about this tomorrow. We, especially overachievers, because we've all failed at things along the way. And some of us are afraid to slow down and take a look at the lessons that we can get from that, because we hold ourselves in such, like, we're so ashamed of ourselves for the mistakes that we've made. And we don't want to feel those feelings of guilt and shame. We're afraid of what's there. I promise you, I'll just cut the shit with you. You're going to have some of that in there. That's okay. There's also your unmet potential. And a lot of people are afraid to be with that too. But it's not really fear. It's just the gap of you getting used to what that version of you is like. Okay. Ooh, it's third eyes. All right. The micro content that I have for you all, I am super excited. I want you to pay attention. First of all, I think we are broadcasting on my new YouTube channel. Yes, we are. Akashic Answers with Emily. All right. This is a brand new YouTube channel. We don't have any subscribers yet, so y'all please subscribe. And I've created something super cool for you all. It is a Jedi training. It's a micro training. It's going to be free. We'll upload it into the YouTube playlist section on this new YouTube channel this week. And if you subscribe, you'll get the ding so that you can go through this Jedi training. It's designed to teach you how to get great answers from your records, how to raise your frequency so they're consistent, how to heal yourself, how to manifest, how to discover your soul mission. And each video is seriously like 2 to 3 minutes. It's freaking awesome. They're so potent. My third eye is flipping like crazy. So little preview, that is coming this week. We're just finishing up the editing on it and getting it uploaded. So I'm very excited to share that with you all. And again, subscribe, hit like and subscribe, share this out. The more of us that step back into our power together, the more fun we're going to have on Wednesdays when y'all come back next Wednesday, because we're just going to be more powerful. We're going to affect even more powerful change on the planet. All right. I love you all. Yay. Shelly says, looking forward to subscribing. I'm happy to be of service to y'all and to be able to share. And I love it. You know, remember, I'm a former actress, so there's a part of me that definitely responds to the applause and the support. All right. I love you. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you back here next week.
This was next level. It was amazing. I feel absolutely different, physically, mentally, and spiritually. I was able to let go of so much limitation and fear and expand on an energetic level. I just feel so open and so aligned. And I've been able to let go and free up so much more potential. And so now that I've cleared that space out, I can tell that I'm going to be able to download, contain, and maintain a much more significant imprint in this world.